The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Live at 4, local returning restaurant owners are looking to reopen, but city officials are hesitant to give them a license. Stay tuned to find out why. And residents throughout McDonough County voiced their concerns about the state's priorities at a meeting held by the Illinois Department of Transportation. Find out what they said later on.
Coming up next, Live at 4, I hope you get to take a chance to step outside today and enjoy the gorgeous weather. Are these temps, though, really here to stay? I'll have a look at your 5-day forecast next.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
McDonough County residents and business owners are speaking out about concerns they have about local roadways. Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
They all crowded together in a packed room this morning for Illinois Department of Transportation's listening tour. The meeting discussed the state's infrastructure needs and priorities. Acting Illinois Transportation Secretary Randy Blankenhorn answered community members' questions and concerns relating to transportation in Illinois. He opened the meeting by discussing how important it is for the state of Illinois to upgrade its transportation system in order to build for a better economy. This morning's meeting ended with an open discussion segment where community members were free to express their transportation concerns. One community member shared his idea of expanding the state's waterways in order to get traffic off the streets. And another shared his concern about simply not having enough money in the state's budget to clean up the streets. But a concern that both the community and IDOT share is the safety of the travelers.
Since November of 14, that's just about 5 months, we've had 2 crashes and 4 fatalities within a mile. So we really do need, we talk economics and I do understand that very, very much, but we also need safety.
Blankenhorn says that money is one of the reasons IDOT has not been able to fix as many transportation issues as they would like. However, he says raising taxes and tollway prices along with collecting donations from the community may help to get the necessary funding to fix these concerns.
City Council has postponed a gaming parlor license to returning restaurant owners here in Macomb. News 3 was first to bring you the story last Tuesday of Rob Giles and his wife reopening the restaurant at 318 West Jackson Street. City aldermen agreed at Monday night's City Council meeting Giles did not know enough about the building to receive the license.
Our occupancy was 154 at Diamond Dave's in the original one, and I'm sure that we know what the occupancy for hangovers is. Do we know what the occupancy for hangovers currently is? It's already been from that.
But it would it requires the fire department's interaction once the design is set up for square footage available for seating and those kind of things. And when we're trying to tie in the back to this as well.
Mayor Mike Inman and city officials want Giles to be prepared to answer questions from the council. All aldermen agreed to push back the approval of the license until May 18th. And WIU students woke up to a big surprise this morning. Take a look at this. Our News 3 team took this video outside of Memorial Hall. The flooding on those sidewalks was apparently caused by a water main break. WIU Facilities Management closed the flooded sidewalks this morning. And Associate Director Montecalli says they also shut off water to Tillman and Seal Halls. This is all related to that water main break. Crews spent all morning working to fix the break.
The April 9th EF4 tornado has farmers in northern Illinois still picking up debris. This has students and faculty from WIU's Emergency Management Program thinking of ways to help. The program has been coming up with recommendations that will help farmers deal with the debris issue. University Media Relations says the program's efforts produced an 8-phase action plan that will guide the farmers. The program's plan draws from a 1.5-year study that showed how farm owners coped with debris that devastated Washington. And the sun was out in full force today, reaching temperatures of 71 degrees, just a beautiful day. We bring in Storm Team 3's Emily Manley now. Emily.
Oh, it was a gorgeous day, and as you saw in the pre-show, I even got to go up on the roof and enjoy the beautiful day instead of staying inside on my computer. If we take a look downtown at Macomb, it is 71 degrees. As Drew said, I'm not going to spell it, but he said beautiful if you all didn't catch what he was spelling there. Humidity about 28% and winds are at 13 miles an hour. If we take a look at the radar right now, there is not a thing. As we like to say, it's a slow news day for weather, which I have no problem reporting. The temperatures around the region are also just fabulous. You see 70 degrees all around the area, just so nice outside. And then the only thing that could be a little bit of a problem is the pollen that we have. A little bit of a pollen in the area. This is still tree pollen. It's not warm enough yet for the weed and the grass pollen, but that tree pollen is definitely pretty high. We're going to see if that affects the rest of the week in our 5-day forecast ahead.
Thanks, Emily. 7,589 miles separate the Quad Cities from Nepal. Not even a week has gone by since an earthquake struck Nepal, killing 4,600 people. On Monday, the distance between these two places became irrelevant. People gathered in Davenport, Iowa to remember all those that were lost. This group not only gave their respects, but also has raised more than $15,000 in relief efforts and are sending doctors and nurses to the country. Some of these people still have family living in the country, and they won't have a roof to sleep under tonight. This tragedy not only hit home for this group, but also for one WIU student. Make sure to tune in on Thursday as Emily Manley has a compelling story of how she is handling the disaster that happened to her home country.
Music, fun, and the 60s. All these are a part of Flower Power, a children's musical at the Macomb Community Theater. The shows will be this Friday and Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 2. You can reserve tickets at the number on your screen or email livetheater@macombcommunitytheater.org. The theater is located on South Johnson Street, a half-mile south of the high school. He was a finalist on America's Got Talent and won NBC's show Phenomenon. After performing at a PGA Tour and multiple campuses nationwide, Bureau of Cultural Affairs says an illusionist and magician is coming to Western Illinois University. Mike Super has performed astonishing tricks for celebrities such as the Ellen DeGeneres and Jay Leno. He will be performing his magic show here at Western on Wednesday, April 29th. Catch the show tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. in the Grand Ballroom.
Many students watch America's Best Dance Crew on television. According to University Relations, WIU's Casa Latina is giving students a chance to experience something similar live tonight. At 7 p.m. tonight, the dance group The Body Poets from Season 6 of ABDC will be taking the stage in the University Union's Heritage Room. This event is free for WIU students and features guest performances as well. For more information, contact the Gwendolyn Brooks Multicultural Center.
Next on Live at 4.
We now know the reason behind the CTA crash that hurt 30 people at O'Hare International Airport. What the NTSC has to say about the diver and her actions.
Violence, fires, looting, and clashes with the police. Baltimore's last night will have the full story.
Stories. They happen everywhere. At NEWS3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand. Across the region.
The tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated. We're all volunteers.
The stories that inform us. The stories that move us. The stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
I think NEWS3 is great. It's all one common goal. Everybody's trying to be number one. Last year, we were number one in the nation. We beat out Florida and Oklahoma. I get to work with so many professionals. It's a really great experience, and they're always there to help, and it's just all around fun. Jasmine Crichton really does make it a real-life experience that, most schools maybe not, they don't offer that.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. The pressure's too much. I quit. I get it. I can do better. Just please, don't leave.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up.
Now, from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Franny Smith, Mario Calero, Storm Team 3's forecast with Emily Manley, and sports with Danny Fry. Live at 4 continues.
There's no excuse for the kind of violence that we saw yesterday.
The city of Baltimore is picking up the pieces of what is left of its neighborhoods after a night of looting and violence. Over 200 people were arrested, 15 officers wounded, and over 100 vehicles torched.
500 National Guard members are in the city, with hundreds more on the way. Ryan Nobles has more on what went on last night.
Residents of Baltimore started the cleanup Tuesday after a long night of riots and looting that began Monday afternoon.
It's all good. It's all good. Children that break down stuff, and the adults got to pick it up and clean it up.
Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake tweeted her thanks to residents, saying, quote, "I sincerely want to thank all those out there cleaning up streets and sharing their love for our city." But during a tour of one neighborhood where rioting took place, disappointment.
Everybody knows we have a city with great needs, and there are many that are struggling. What happened last night made sure that more people are struggling and that more people have needs, and those needs are going to go unmet because of what was destroyed.
And one man who grew up in one of the affected neighborhoods said the rioting was pointless.
Baltimore is not a bad city. Everybody in Baltimore is not bad. We just need to wake up. All this that we doing right now ain't had nothing. These store owners ain't had nothing to do with Freddie getting killed.
Though Tuesday has seen a calmer Baltimore, authorities have put plans in place to prevent more violence, including declaring a state of emergency and a citywide curfew. The National Guard arrived Tuesday morning, and hundreds more are on their way.
We're not going to have another repeat of what happened last night. It's not going to happen tonight.
In Baltimore, I'm Ryan Nobles reporting.
And we now know the cause of a 2014 commuter train crash at Chicago's O'Hare Airport that left more than 30 people injured. The National Transportation Safety Board determined the train jumped the tracks, landing on an escalator because the train's operator fell asleep and because of the insufficient safety equipment at the station. The operator admitted to dozing off prior to the investigation, but the NTSB blamed the Chicago Transit Authority for her schedule.
In addition, Chicago Transit Authority failed to effectively manage the operator's work schedule to mitigate the risk of fatigue. Contributing to the severity of the accident was Chicago Transit Authority's failure to identify the insufficient stopping distance and inadequate speed restriction at the center pocket track at O'Hare Station.
The train derailed March 24th just before 3 a.m. No one suffered life-threatening injuries. The CTA fired train operator Brittany Haywood following the accident. The CTA has since implemented a series of changes at the O'Hare station.
Early Tuesday morning, Iran Revolutionary Guard patrol boats fired shots at a commercial cargo ship. When the warning shots were fired, the cargo ship notified U.S. forces operating in the region. U.S. Navy patrol ship and aircraft are headed to keep watch on the area. The Pentagon says it was inappropriate for the Iranians to fire the shots. There were no Americans on board the ship.
And it's looking just perfect outside, and it's about time.
Storm Team 3's Emily Manley is here with all the details as we get a little closer to summer.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Mine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought, and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Welcome back. We got Emily Manley up here with us now. Emily, give us the news. Weather, sorry. We did the news.
You did do the news,
Yeah,
and
we
it
did
looks
do
like
the
we're
news.
all kind of got cat by our tongue here. Who's going to talk? And that's okay, though, but I have great news for weather, so I'm going to cover up that mistake right there with our weather. If we take a look outside right now, it is sunny and beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky, and that makes for a fantastic day. I hope everyone got a chance to step outside today. Temps, we hit a high of 71 degrees. Humidity is very low, so that causes a chance for some, if there was ever a fire due to just a cigarette falling on the ground and it hit a patch of just some dry grass, that would cause for a fire. Winds are at 13 miles an hour, so pretty calm compared to yesterday and the day before. If we take a look at the radar right now, you can see that there's not a thing in the area. And I promise you the radar is moving. There's just nothing going on. So very nice out there. Make sure you get the chance to step outside today. If we take a look at the temps around the area, you can see that in Macomb, 71 degrees, Galesburg, 69, and just all around that area, so nice. So make sure you get outside and enjoy the temps. Pollen, once again, you can see here that we have had a little bit of a high pollen rate today, but as the week goes on, it should drop down a little because we have a chance of some scattered storms tomorrow night. Looks like my PowerPoint started over here, so give me 1 second as we scroll to where we're supposed to be. Temperatures for the area here, you can see that now we have Chicago 57, St. Louis we have at about 68. So still very pleasant all around the region. If we take a look at the radar for tomorrow, this is for right now, you can see that it's clear right here in the area. But for my next radar, I put this in here because of this low pressure system that is moving into our area. The low pressure system can cause for some scattered storms tomorrow night, but very light. It's just in there just in case, depending how that low pressure system moves through. Then, as you can see here on Thursday, the low pressure system is south of us and we're back to clear skies. And it's going to be a wonderful week. I threw this map in here because I wanted to show you that as nice as the weather is right now, it is a little above normal for us. So don't get too happy thinking, oh, this is spring. No, technically for Macomb area, it is for some summer temps. And then as we take a look at this evening, you can see that it's going to hit a low of 42 degrees, but it will be clear. And then for tomorrow, another high of 70 degrees. Winds once again will be calm. If we take a look at the 5-day forecast here, you can see that on Wednesday 70 degrees, Thursday 67, Friday 69, Saturday 75. That's where a chance of some rain moves back in due to another low pressure system moving through the area. And then on Sunday, we have a high of 77. And because of it's going to be so high on Sunday, that's when we can expect some thunderstorms in the area because of the pressure system that will be moving through this weekend. So make sure you guys enjoy the next few days because it's awesome. Lovely.
It's perfect weather. No complaints here.
Okay, good. Good.
But I will say at night, it's just so weird seeing it drop all the way to the 40s and then get back up to the 70s. That's a huge, it's a huge drop.
tease.
Light
Right?
jacket at night, t-shirt during the day.
I'll remember that.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much, Emily.
You're welcome.
If a thunderstorm were to happen right now, what would your family know what to do? Would your family know what to do? News 3's Shaquille Huddleston gives us tips on ways to be ready for when the thunderstorm comes.
It's the month of April, and that's when the rain starts to pour, and next comes the thunderstorms, which can be very dangerous.
Yeah, a severe thunderstorm could be a short-lived hurricane, essentially, if you get winds stronger than, 70, 80 miles per hour.
In the month of April, the thunderstorm doesn't reach its peak.
So usually your most active time for severe weather is usually May, June, July period, your summer months. That's when you get your most prolific thunderstorms.
Students in the residence halls have an idea of what to do in case of a thunderstorm.
First thing I'd do is just try to find shelter and be aware of what's going on outside.
What I would do is I would sit up there and go into the nearest bathroom because there's no windows or no glass in effect.
Procedures you should take during a thunderstorm is to take shelter in a substantial building or in a vehicle with windows closed. Get out of mobile homes for they can be blown away. Avoid electrical equipment and telephones, and listen to local news or weather radio for updates.
The biggest thing when it comes to planning for severe weather is always to have a plan and practice that plan. For tornadoes, know where your safe place is. If you have a basement, your lowest level in your building, that's the best place to be.
In case you haven't implemented a plan with your family, you can create one before the time comes and make sure that you and your family are safe. From NEWS3, I am Shaquille Huddleston.
Thanks, Shaquille. And like you said, if you don't have a plan with your family, make sure you come up with one when thunderstorms or Mother Nature comes in general. All right, the Tyler Reddy is now in studio. And Tyler, what do you got?
Coming up next in sports, the Western Illinois softball team is gearing up to face the Fighting Illini in Urbana tonight. And I'll tell you if the St. Louis Cardinals could wake up the bats against Philadelphia. All that and more is next on Live at 4.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet! Dang it. Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Hello, Western Illinois. I'm Tyler Reddy. Danny Fry has the day off. The Western Illinois softball team, however, does not. The team is getting ready to face off against the University of Illinois tonight as part of one of the last stops before the Summit League tournament. The softball team is no stranger to Big Ten competition. Back on April 2nd, the Leathernecks defeated the Iowa Hawkeyes 11-8. Let's take a look at the matchup between the Leathernecks and the Fighting Illini. The Leathernecks come into tonight's game trailing the all-time series 2-3, with the Illini winning the last 3 meetings. The Illini are led by Allie Bach, who scored 300 runs this season alone. If that wasn't impressive enough, Bach is hitting .402 with 18 doubles and 11 homers. The Leathernecks come in with a 16-20 record, and the Illini are at an even .500. First pitch from Urbana is set for 6:30 p.m. And the 2015 Westbys were held last night inside Western Hall, and 2 student athletes received the athletic department's highest honor. Senior softball standout Sammy Marshall and men's soccer standout Charlie Bales were named the senior female and male student athlete of the year, respectively. Marshall most recently was drafted by the Chicago Bandits of the National Pro Fast Pitch League, and Bales will play semi-pro soccer for the Charlotte Independents of the United Soccer League. Both student athletes hold a GPA above 3.4. And the Leatherneck Baseball team returns home today, right now actually, for a midweek matchup against St. Ambrose University. Western plans to carry the momentum from its series in Fargo, where Jake Moore and Colton Pogue hit above 500 on the weekend. The Fighting Bees come into Macomb with a 22-22 record on the year and have won 8 out of its last 12 games. The Bees were swept in a triple-header at home yesterday against William Penn University. Bryn Bell leads the offense for the Bees with 7 homers and 36 runs scored. Bell is also batting .375 and has 48 hits on the year. SAU's pitching staff is led by Anthony Gagliardi, who is 5-3 in 10 starts. Gagliardi boasts a 1.32 ERA with 39 strikeouts. Western comes in with a 12-26 record and are 7-9 at home this season. Now, there's an old saying that says there are 2 certainties in life, death and taxes. Well, the St. Louis Cardinals have added a third to the list, at least this season, as they'll be without their ace pitcher Adam Wainwright for the remainder of the year due to a torn left Achilles. The Birds were in action against the Phillies last night at Busch Stadium. And irony ensues as Cole Hamels was on the mound for the Phils, a man many think should be in a Cardinals uniform. Bottom 5, Birds up 1 with 2 outs and a runner on first and second, and Hamels tells Matt Adams to take a seat to end the inning. Top 7, same score when Ben Revere. He hits one to left, it hits the line and bounces into the stands for a 2 RBI ground rule double to put the Phils up 2-1. Next batter, it's rookie Odubel Herrera for the Phillies. He brings home Revere with a gapper into right, and Herrera gets thrown out by Yadier Molina. Right here, Yadier Molina throws out Herrera at second, who tries to advance, fills up 3-1 at this point. And then in the bottom of the 9th, it's Jonathan Papelbon. Phillies up 4-1, and he shuts the door on the Birds for his 5th save of the year, and the Phils take Game 1, 4-1. So that's all for sports. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler. See what some high school students and a hospital staff in Omaha, Nebraska went out of their way to do to create a special night for one sick girl.
We'll have that story when we return.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic.
That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids.
We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone.
And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education.
HSF.net.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Madison Hurd was looking forward to prom, just like every other high school girl. She had a date lined up and, of course, the perfect dress. Then a serious illness put her in a pediatric intensive care unit. Madison was having heart problems and couldn't leave the hospital to attend prom. Her friends and nurses made sure she wouldn't miss out, though.
They bought supplies to recreate the school dance theme, The Great Gatsby, in her hospital room. They picked up a cake and sparkling cider, and the night shift decorated Madison's room while she slept. Madison's date was in on the plans as he showed up in his tuxedo with a corsage. Administrators at Madison's school also helped. They set up a video chat from the real prom so Madison could share part of the experience with her classmates. Which is beautiful.
That is, you see all these terrible stories about what's going on in Baltimore or, just really anywhere. News can kind of get bad sometimes. When you see stuff like this, though, it really brings up your spirits.
Especially like the bullying stuff too. It's cool that these classmates have a good heart. That's awesome.
Especially
people that want to make a difference.
Yeah,
how great.
Exactly.
How great.
Exactly.
We're going to take a look at your final weather here. As you can see tonight, we're going to hit a low of 42 degrees. Winds will be very calm. Tomorrow, though, we are back up in that 70-degree mark. Winds will pick up a little bit, but pretty much just like today. So if you didn't get a chance to get outside today, I say that's a must for tomorrow because As moving into the 5-day forecast here, you see that it's going to be nice all week. There is a chance of showers, though. Tomorrow night, we could see some spotty showers in the area, and that's due to a low pressure system that's moving in. But then on Friday and Saturday, we're back in the 70-degree mark. Sunday, because of how high it'll be, it could cause for more thunderstorms, but might as well enjoy it while we have it, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Really. Good.
Thank you, Emily. That is all we have from our studios today.
But we continue online all the time. News3WIU.com. And for Emily Manley, I'm Franny Smith.
And for Tyler Eddy, I'm Drew Hoffman. And for all of us here at News 3, have a great evening.